And let the tribe say peace, 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 peace. Soul Tribe, yours truly, Ivory, Raw, Dado. What's up, Soul Tribe? It's Sunday, November 23rd, 2025. I mean, this month is just sailing on by. Everybody's getting ready to put that bird in the oven this week. They're getting ready to kick it and hang out with family and friends. It's your do nothing day. Sit back, chill, eat, pick up a couple of pounds. Man, all right. That what y'all got planned? Is that what y'all got planned? Tell me what y'all dropping in the comments. What y'all doing? What y'all doing this week? What y'all do? How y'all gonna spend y'all quote unquote Thanksgiving or day of giving thanks? However you want to dress it up. How y'all gonna spend y'all Thanksgiving? What y'all be doing? I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna tell you right now what I'm gonna be doing. Your boy gonna be chilling. Right? That's what I'm gonna be doing. Eyes the bees chilling. What's up, y'all? Let me make sure all the whistles and the bells is working. All the whistles and the bells is working. Make sure all the whistles and the bell is working. Make sure all the whistles and the bells is working. Yeah. What's that? Amalalex. Hope I ain't butcher your name. Alchemist Mother. 5. Happy Sunday to you. Yeah. Who else is that? Stolen. What it do? Y'all good? Everybody good? Put these on the nose. Everybody good? Darlene, what's up? Man, this page is hacked. But y'all just be careful. If you don't see me live and you see me somewhere else, I promise you it's not me. That I can tell you. Miss Christie, what's up? Doing a little bit of cooking and spending time with family. See what I'm saying? That's what y'all gonna be doing. All right. That's what's up. Channel appreciation. 10 families giveaway. Now I'm gonna throw in some little tarot because I know that's what y'all come here for. Now, listen. This live stream is again as normal for information, confirmation, clarification only. So take what resonates, ignore the rest. Always follow your own divine intuition, especially when you're making life-changing decisions, right? Welcome back, Soul Tribe family. What's up with the new subscribers? We almost at that 9K. Let's go and drop on in there. Hit that 9K, then get to that 10K by the end of the years, right? $500.37 collected so far for the 10 family giveaway, right? $499.63 to go. And we gonna get there. Watch. Just hit that like button as you enter in the live chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Comment, good comments. And of course, share the video, right? Channel email, IvorysSoulsJourney9@gmail.com. That's where you can find me at on the email platform, right? That's if you want to schedule a personal session, personal reading, counseling, somebody to talk to, what have you. You want to support the channel? Let's start right here. Put some in the bucket. Put some in Pop's bucket. right? That's if you want a live mini reading at the end of this live stream, or you have a question. Live mini readings, $19. Questions, only $9. We're gonna take out of that $19, we're gonna throw 10 in the bucket for the family. You get a question, $9, we're gonna put $5 in the bucket for the family, right? Plus, you get a mini reading, I'm gonna give you a ticket to win this TV. What TV I have? I'm gonna show it to you. So if you get a mini reading, right, we're gonna give you a ticket. Right? You get a question, you got a question, we're gonna give you a ticket too. We ain't gonna discriminate. Well, what about if I gave them? Okay, we gonna give you a ticket. Now, if you want to just get as many raffle tickets as you want, you can get as many as you want. I got 2,000 of them. I'm sure that's enough for this and the next. Because then we're going to do something else for the 10K. Yeah, there they go. You want any crystals, any stones? Get your crystals and your stones. They only $30, similar to what I'm wearing. What I'm wearing is a labradorite. This is a labradorite crystal here. Wand, right? Wrapped in copper. They're only $30. You can get it on the velvet rope. You can get it on the hemp rope. You can get it with wood and beads. However you want to get it. I'm going to send it to you. $30. Plus, you're going to get that free question. Plus, you're going to get 3 raffle tickets. If you get a full reading, right? I'm going to give you 9 tickets. Just email me. Best way to do it is just, if you email me, I'm going to get it right away. Full reading, you get a follow-up reading. I got 2 follow-ups. If you are watching this live and you know who you are, it's two people. If you're watching this live and you know who you are, it's time for your follow-up. I think I misplaced the information. I'm sorry. As far as the day, I know who you are. I just don't want to call y'all name, put your business out there. But if you know who you are, all you got to do when you hear this video, whether you hear now or after this live, email me so we can do your follow-up. You got 2 follow-ups. I was giving away what? Follow-up, meaning that if you get a live reading, I'm going to give you a follow-up for free. Whole hour, free. You can split it up into 30 minutes. So now you got your reading that you paid for. Then you can get a 30-minute follow-up for the end of the year. And if you want, you can get another reading, follow-up, for 2026. What can you expect? That's how we're doing it. Then I'm throwing in 3, when you get that full reading, 3 raffle tickets to get this TV. All right. Listen, folks. Sunday hangout. That's what we got. So the PayPal information and the Cashapp and Venmo information in the description box of the video. We got all that out of the way. We're going to take care of these 10 families. I'm already in contact with a few. 3 people from this channel. You got to take care of home first. Where home at? Soul Tribe. So 3 people from this family, now this channel, you got to call, you got to email me. Leave me your information so we can talk. 3 people from this channel, right? We're going to help 3 people right here from the Soul Tribe. Email me. I won't know if you don't email me, right? Everybody else good? I'm sitting up here looking at a hack screen, and I don't know why, but this one I can see. Oh yeah, everybody doing good. Listen, now we done with the channel appreciation. I want to say something in this Sunday hangout segment. We don't do the Sunday hangout on a regular basis, right? And one of the things that's always been fascinating with me uh, in terms of, how can I say it? Tarot. It's correlation and its connection to astrology, um, with the sun being the center. For example, when you talk about even Christianity, we won't go into a whole lot of depth, but I have a little small booklet that I'm compiling, and it's simply entitled Life After the Cross. Just follow me for a minute. And pretty much, life after the cross is a time frame for me in which, quote unquote, some might say, I left the church or I left Christianity, of which I didn't leave either. I just stopped believing its version. That's it. I stopped believing its version, right? And because it's the zodiac comparison and completion, say from astrology to heaven or the universe, and from time to Christianity. So this book, I'll share some information, with y'all in the upcoming times. Okay, so basically, when you think about uh, tarot, you cannot have um, tarot does not even exist without astrology. Okay, our version of tarot that most people use, again, it's a Western civilization, but everything is based upon this symbol you call the cross, or some would call the cross. And if you go all the way back to ancient times, especially like in places like India, you will still see these symbols. To whereas from a Christianity standpoint, um, the early Christians, okay, let's go back to the ancient India. You're talking about anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000 years ago, which is so far older than what you call modern day Christianity, right? We're not going to talk about Judaism and Islam because they are all what we call um, Abrahamic religions, because they're all basing that story of Abraham on the father of their religion, whether it's Islam, Christianity, or Judaism. You got me. What most people don't think about is when you see now y'all want to make me draw and shit. You know I can't draw. Y'all know I can't draw. Hold on, we're gonna go somewhere and then we're gonna pull a couple of cards. Just stick around. Just stick around. So you ain't gonna stick around? Stick around. You might be able to share something with me today. Alright, give me something round here. What I got round over here? I need something round. I got something round. Ivory, you got something round. If not, I'm gonna have to do it as round as I possibly can. Alright. Let me give you this here. We're just gonna do it like this here. We're gonna start with a circle. Okay. And then I'm gonna fill in the blanks here in a second, but we're gonna start out with a circle. All right. Now, from a religious standpoint, this is fear. This is fear. This is a fear. Sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E. Sphere. All right. This sphere is considered the center of the universe. And what is the brightest light star in the center of our universe that we see every time we walk outside? It's called the sun. S-U-N. This is the sun. All right. Now, within this sphere, this star, this light, this sun, you have one line going down, Another line going across. All right. I want to show y'all something. We're gonna put some stuff together here. We're gonna see where we end up at, okay? There it is right there. All right. So these lines, so this is the image you would see on most, well, if you go to India today, okay, you will still see some of these old temples. Even if they don't even call themselves a church, you'll see these old temples. And these old temples have a symbol on the top of them, affixed to them. And it is a circle and a cross on a pedestal or a pole, or what I like to call an obelisk, as far as from a religious standpoint, an obelisk. And on top of this obelisk is this circle with this here cross in the middle. From 7,000 to 10,000 years ago, way before you hear about what you call modern day Christianity or the cross. You got me? All right, so what does these lines represent? All right, so far we got 4 spaces here. Okay, hold tight. So we have an N, we have a W, we have an E, and we have an S. All right, so we have north here, we have south here, we have west here, and we have east here. Y'all got it so far. It's so simple right now that a kindergarten child can say that circle. And then if I put that S-U-N up there, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially when they go outside and recess and play under the what? Sun. All right, so we got these lines. So that N represents north, south, east, and west. Now, when you put these alphabet in some kind of order, you're going to get this right here. I'm going to see if I can make it big enough. Hold on. See if we can make it big enough. Hold on. So y'all can see it. Y'all gonna let me do a little teaching, just a little something. I ain't got to have on no suit, shirt and tie, no whatever. But we get what is called NEWS, news. NEWS, news. All right, so we got NEWS, N representing north, E representing east, W representing west, and S representing south. You got me so far. What is this news talking about, or what is this news all about? It is about the ancient people who were somewhat what we call sun worshipers. And this would be anybody from the ancient Egyptians or the Comedians or the Nubians, the Ethiopians, all the way back to the Babylonians, the Sumerians. The sun, the center of the universe, what some would call the eye of the universe. Hold on, don't throw rocks, hold on. All right, so now we have news about the sun. Where's the sun at? In the center. Go look at any cross at any church and you will see a circle in the middle. That circle in the middle represents the S-U-N. Y'all got me? You got me? Now, for those of you who out here who are Masons and Eastern Stars, we're not going to get into no debate this afternoon. Because I don't go to no lives, right? Been approached many times, got many friends and family members. But, hold on. Let's just stick with what I'm talking about. We talking about this, and I'm going to show y'all how the tarot and everything else, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Judaism, any other religion. Okay. So far we tapping into what? About 7 to 10,000 years. And this is India. Why India? Go do your research. It's where you go. People used to go back in the ancient to study mysticism, magic, all right, or a higher form of spirituality. Y'all got that? India, 7 to 10,000 years. So that's way long before religion. What's up, Shreya? All right, let's go a little further here. Now, if I was to base this here on, say, Christianity, then I would start out by telling y'all that, okay, at age 12, get this here now. I want y'all to get something here. Just follow me. We just doing a little something. When you catch y'all getting the cream of the crop in terms of next year, starting in 26 in January. You'll see me doing on another channel, on another platform, lectures. Okay. All right. So at age 12, can anybody remember what age, quote unquote, Jesus Christ, right, was when he told his mommy and his daddy, hey, gotta leave you folks. Where you going, boy? I'm just paraphrasing. Where you going, boy? Well, I gotta be about my father's business. And at age 12, he left his parents. Where's the first place he went? I'm gonna give it to you. He went right back to where his parents flew and took him. Just hold on now. We're going to get somewhere. Where did he go? He went to Egypt first. Where else did he go? Now, see, they don't teach this here in Sunday school and Bible study. I'm just being honest with you, man. They didn't do that. I know that. Why? Because I used to teach Sunday school and Bible study. Hold on. He went to Egypt. Where else did he go? He went to India. Why he go to India? To learn mysticism. Even what some call modern day magic, meditation, all of this. Then after, that's at age 12. Just remember the number. Key number here, what I'm talking about, folks, is 12. Just hold on. I got you. It's 12. We talking about 12. So we do know at age 12, he left his parents and went to Egypt. I know this for a fact. Where did he go? He went to India. I know this for a fact. You may not know it because they don't want you to know. Just hold tight. Hold on. Then at age 32, at age 32, he pops back. He comes back. He back. How does he return? He returns on a donkey, right into Jerusalem, saying Hosanna, Hosanna, so on and so forth. Y'all know the story. Okay, that's at age 32. All right. Then at age 33, which says he was what? Crucified. He died on what? A cross. Why is 33 so significant? Because it's the highest degree that you can go in masonry. What's the connection to masonry, the sun, astrology, zodiac, and Christianity? If you follow me throughout 2026, you will know. If you already know, just come and support me. Come along. So at age 33, so he had what? 12 months. I done already went to seminary school twice and learned this here. I'm just sharing a little something with y'all. 12 months from age 32 to 33. 1 year. Damn near to the exact day. And they do what? They crucified him and hung him where? On the cross. Hold on. They crucified him. They said hung him on the cross, on the tree. Here's where it gets a little murky, right? I said mercury, but a little murky. Here's where it gets a little murky. The first 600 years This is facts of Christianity. This is Sunday Hangout. If you didn't go to church, Sunday school this morning, well, thank you for stopping by. Here's where to get a little murky. For the first 600 years of Christianity, there's no such mention as no S-O-N of God, Son of God. There's no mention of no Jesus, none of this. None. There's no alphabet J. Ain't nobody never heard of this dude. I'm just giving you facts now. If you don't believe me, go and get your early version. Hold on. So y'all gonna make me teach. I ain't trying to teach now. I'm just trying to tell you something. I ain't trying to get you to believe nothing that I'm saying. Just hold tight. Okay. So, in this book, I can prove everything that I'm saying. I taught from this book, from the pulpit, in the streets, in jails, in prisons, in hospitals, in nursing homes, at bus stops, street corners, all of that. Didn't nobody love them some Jesus more than moi at one point in time, right? So just hold tight. So if I was to go in this book, you'll find out that nobody in this book, as far as character name wise, never physically existed. Now we ain't gonna just hold on before you start throwing rocks. But now you trying to come here. I thought you was coming here to flip some damn cards. Now you trying to tell me my Lord ain't. Follow me throughout 26, and I'm gonna crank it back up. It won't be on this channel, but y'all will know. You know now. And I'm going to show you some things. Straight from the book. Straight from the source. Right? All right. Back to this here. So they kill him at 33. He said in 3 days, 3 days, rise again. That's what he said on that cross. 3 days, rise again. But you got to figure out, you got to know what the cross really means. And in my book, I talk about life after the cross, life beyond the cross, because the cross symbolizes death. And then, like, you and I ain't got to die on the cross. That's what they taught us. Okay, let's get back to this here 12 right quick here. All right, so the last few days, especially the last 3 days, 3 days of Jesus' existence. When I pick up this book, and I'll be going along now. When I pick up that book, I find that in the last 3 days was very troubling time for one Jesus, right? Whether it was being drugged from judgment hall to judgment hall, beaten, whatever you want to call it, right? And then hung on the cross. Okay, so the final 3 days. All right. Now we do know that after 3 days, after he died in 3 days, he said he was going to rise again. Who? The S-O-N said this, according to this book. Now this version here is version whatever, 500 and something. There's so many versions of this one book, so many versions of this one story. You just got to pick and choose what version you like, you can accept, you believe, you read, you told. But most people, especially colored people, not so much color, pink, green, blue, I'm just saying people of color, they use this version, the King James Version. And in that 1611, 1613 edition, this is the first time you hear about one name, Jesus Christ. All right, what in the world is this man talking about this morning? Okay, this afternoon. Okay, so we got the sun. We got this here round circle representing, if you was to go to the equator or the center of the universe or the center of this planet, right, and you stand flat foot and you look up and you see the sky. This is heaven. This is the cosmic. This is the universe you're looking up at. There are many. The one that you coexist in with me. When you look up, if you turn and you go counterclockwise this way, counterclockwise, turn all the way around, and do a 360-degree turn, you've just visualized seeing with your naked eyes 12 constellations. You just turned around and looked at, whether you're looking at the Kuiper Belt, whether you're looking at Orion, whatever you're looking at, whatever, North Star, whatever, turn around. By the time you get all the way back around, facing what? The sun in the sky. There ain't nothing else for you to see. Guess what? You only seeing half though. Because on the other side of the sun, we don't see. On the other side of the moon, you don't see. How do you see it? People journey. In ancient Kemet, you call modern day Egypt. In ancient Kemet, they spent over, the priest, the high priestess, spent over 1,000 years. All they did was jotted, wrote down, made you a picture of what they saw was the 12 constellations. 4,000 years. Now, when was the last time you know anybody to study the cosmics? 4,000 years. No, you haven't. Okay, not in modern times, because this country ain't even 1,000 years old. But anyway, that's what this group of people did. That's what the Sumerians did. That's what the Babylonians did. They study cosmic, because without this here S-U-N, the ancients knew a few things was definite just from living. Number one, that sun was going to rise, what you call rise and set. Okay? They knew this. They knew this, his sun gave them life, energy, downloads, connected them to spiritual sources, connected them to spiritual deities. They knew all of this about the sun. I could go on and on and on. They knew that if that sun didn't rise in 3 days, 72 hours, the planet we call Earth begins to freeze. This is facts. You don't have to believe me. Go ask your scientists, Google it, whatever you want to do. In 3 days, 72 hours, the same 3 days that he said he was going to rise again. Hold on, follow me now. Hold on before you start throwing your eggs. Rise. In 3 days, the Earth, planet, begins to freeze. All the planets in our solar system, whether it's Neptune, Jupiter, whoever, Mars, everything began to start going through cosmic changes. Okay. In 3 weeks, everything that lives on the Earth, all these other planets, is dead. It no longer exists. It no longer exists. It no longer exists. You in ice age down here. Everything's frozen over. There's no more life. Everything's dead. If the sun, S-U-N, if you don't see that sun early in the morning rising, a little bit after daylight, about 5:30, whatever, wherever you at around the planet, if you don't see it, man, where the sun at today? Okay, everybody be like, oh damn, what a phenomenon, what an anomaly. We have no sun today. People gonna start panicking that day. All right, let's go to day 2. Still no sun, no sun. It's cold. It is frigid cold. Life is beginning to die. Whether it's plant, fishes, mammals, animals, humans, whatever you think of, it begins to die. Day number 3, it's a wrap. By week number 3, same thing that he said, rise again. By week number 3, it's over with. It's over with. So, they was excited seeing that sunrise. They went even further. How did I know they went further? All right, because what they did was, we're going to break this here up into 3s. Hold on. I'm going to break it up into 3s right quick. Hold on. Because everything I've shared with you so far is 3s. Just hold tight. I got you. I got you. I got you. I ain't the best artist, but I got you. All right. So I broke them up into 3s. What did I break up into 3s? The universe. Into 12 sections. Because when you look over your head, you turn around in a circle and do a complete total 360 and get back to where you started turning, counterclockwise. Everything you see, as far as the eyes can see, is heaven, is the cosmic, is the universe, is the kingdom of the planet. All knowledge, everything. You ain't got to believe me. All right, so now we down to 12. Okay, so I done broke it up into 3 sections. All right, so we call section 1. You look at that body of that constellation, it is called Aries. Men began to first worship or have a masculine energy, if you will, from a religious standpoint, during the season of Aries, which represents the ram. Now, you think about kingdoms, you got, let's say you got schools of fishes, a herd of cattle. We're just talking like this here. So in the cosmic, the ancients, whether it is China or India or Kemet or what you call modern day Egypt, it's called the animal kingdom. So you have what is called an animal zodiac, because these constellations is representing animals. Hold on. So that first house is Aries, the ram. This is Merbo, the Mount Merbo in Africa. All right. So where you have the mountain of the moon. So the sun represents the masculine. Okay. The sun represents masculine. Okay. I'm just going to put it down here. The moon represents feminine. Y'all got that? All right. So we're going to go 1, 2, hold on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. All right. Now, back to this number 12 again. Okay. I can go on and on with the number 12 because everything starts with these 12 houses, these 12 constellations. Everything that we keep calculation of starts with these 12s, right? Y'all know that. I ain't got to tell y'all that. Your clock, 12. Follow me good, folks. Your clock, 12. Months, 12. Disciple, 12. Inches, 12. Tribes of Israel, 12. The small 12 is the smallest number with 6 divisors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 12 gates in God's kingdom you call heaven. 12 foundations. 12 Olympian gods of Greece. What else? 12 principal stations of moon and sun. Right? 12 as far as the dozens. 12 zodiac. What else can we say? The ancients divided the skies into 12 parts. 12 main northern and southern stars. 12 pairs of ribs in the human body. 12 juries that's going to be your peers, that's going, whatever you want to call it. Elijah, he built an altar with 12 stones. 12 times 12 equals 144 or 144,000 quote unquote Jews or Hebrews is supposed to go to heaven. Your clock starts with the cosmic. Time down on earth starts with the cosmic. Religions, systems, belief systems, all of this. There is no story of a sun, S-O-N, in the ancients. No story. You cannot go back. You can't go back. Okay, let me give you something, folks. Let me give y'all a little something. Let's say I come out with an idea. Follow me right here. Let's say I come out with an idea and I carve that idea in stone. 3 to 6 inches deep. So nobody can wipe it away. Right? Somebody else from another generations later, they come and come across what I carved in stone, but they're a little bit more advanced now in record keeping. So they, instead of stone, they're going to use what is called a scroll, parchment paper, skin. And then they're going to carve or try to translate what I wrote in stone, not in English, in stone, and write it down. Now we got another version of the same story. Y'all got me? With that available technology to keep in record, it's called scroll. And you go from scroll and somebody else gets that story and picks it up, not from stone, but from scroll, and prints it or writes it or translate it on what is called papyrus. You got me so far? All right. Then another group of civilization, years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, whatever, centuries later, now the available technology for keeping record is on paper. Where you get papyrus. It comes from the word papyrus or paper. All right. Thin skin from wood. Paper is made out of wood. Y'all got me? So if I was to go back, and this is version 532, 533, the King James Version, 532. I want you to think about frequencies while I'm talking too. But 532. So that's changing what? The frequency. Listen to me good, folks. Version number 532. How I know? Because, hold on. Let me pick up this Bible. And let me go to this. Hold on. Just hold on. Stop. Don't throw no rocks yet now. I ain't did nothing wrong so far. YouTube don't ban me so far. Hold on. I ain't did nothing yet. I ain't messing with nobody. I ain't stepping on no toes. None of that. Just give me a second here. Now I'm gonna underline this here because we talking about versions. Our version started with what? Stone, scrolls, papyrus, paper, print, media. Hold on. He who controls the written text controls the thinking of that age. The age of what? Where you at right now? Hold on. Now, we're in version number 532. Think of frequency. Hold on. That 532 represents change. Break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. New beginnings, change, what all of. All right, now what does this say? Now this is saying, this is in the New Testament. Now see, Ivory, see the Bible said that the Old Testament, it says we don't go by the Old Testament no more. Okay, then we'll start at the New. Hold on for a minute. What does this got to do with tarot? I'm hold on. This says what? The gospel according to Matthew. Why I say according to? It's a version. It says the gospel according to Matthew. What does that mean? Matthew wasn't living. Matthew wasn't living when this version was written. That's why I said according to. Matthew's name never existed in that part of the world. Why? That's European. But anyway, the gospel according to. That's their version. That's somebody else's version. Hold on. Okay then. But then, Ivory, what about Mark? Oh, I got Mark right here too. The gospel according to Mark. Uh-oh. We got another European. I ain't got nothing against Europeans. But we got another European name. Mark. There was no European in this area of the planet. You got me. Not only that, Matthew, Mark, so far, this is a version of a story according. Meaning that what? They didn't write it. They damn sure didn't get it from Stone. Where they get it from? Yeah, but see, it's Matthew and it's Mark, and then it's okay. Then hold on, we gonna holler at Brother Luke. Let's see what Brother Luke said. Don't y'all give me teaching that. I got your mini reading. Don't y'all give me teaching that. What it say about Luke? Gospel according to Luke. Luke ain't wrote shit. How I know? I can prove it to you. It's just their story. They verse. If I can say the gospel according to Ivory. Was I there? No. But see, Ivory, what you got, it said Matthew, then it said Mark, then it said John. Okay, then, well, let's see what John said about. What John say? Gospel according to John. John ain't wrote shit. John wasn't living. You ain't got to come back to my channel no more after this. It's Sunday hangout. You should have went to Sunday school. Should have went to morning service instead of coming by here and listen to this here crazy man talk. But Ivory, what you? Okay. Hold on. The gospel according to. Let me take you back to this. The sun. How did we start it out? We started out with an N. North. We started out with an S. South. We started out with an E for east. We started out with a W for west. What does that spell? News. What is news? Information. What does the news come from? Media. Who controls the media? You already know. Who controls the print? You already know. So the gospel's good news is really talking about the universe. Y'all gonna let me teach. Y'all don't want me to teach. Man, I break this here. Look, I break it down to the science bone. Okay, hold on. Now you know 12 times 12 is 144 according to math calculation. If you add 3 again, add 3 zeros behind 144, what we started with 12, and you get what? 144,000. 12,000 from each tribe. But now hold on, we ain't gonna go that far yet. We ain't gonna go too far. Hold on. Now we know from a zodiac standpoint, everything is based on, let me get my dummies chart out here, my birth chart for dummies, right? So if y'all, some of y'all is in the birth chart, hold on. Birth chart for dummies, I got it what? This is the sun. This is an animal called Aries. This is a mammal called Pisces. Watch this here. Hold on. Watch this here. Where that book at? We're gonna go back to the gospel according to Luke. Hold on. Let me find Luke right quick. It's one particular scripture I want to find in Luke. See if I can find it. I used to be good at this here. We still gonna find it though. Hold on. They're gonna find. Oh, hold on. Yeah, here it is. Now, we was taught. I was taught. And when I say we, folks, I grew up around. We was taught. Anything you see in red, that is the S-O-N, son, talking. That's Jesus talking. Hold on. Wait a minute. Don't throw no eggs there. So, what I'm going to read to you now is in red. This Jesus talking. Uh-oh. What did Jesus say? Hold on. Right. Jesus and his disciples prepared for the Passover. What's the Passover? When they all sitting at the Lord's Supper's table. Hold on, wait a minute now. Wait, don't throw no eggs yet now. I ain't cooking yet. Jesus and his disciples prepared the Passover. Then came the day of the unleavened bread. Now, these ain't no Europeans back here now. So we know Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You can't have them names. There's some, well, it means Matthias. It means Matthias. We go with what we got. Anyway, then came the day of unleavened bread. Hold on. Watch this here, y'all. Something that happened. Man. When the Passover must be killed. Listen to me. When the Passover must be killed. This is Luke the 22nd chapter, y'all. Hold on, I'm just starting reading that. Hold on, verse 7. Then it says, and he sent Peter and John. Who? Peter and John. Neither one is Hebrew. Neither one is a Jew. Hold on. Let me keep going. He said, Peter and John saying, go and prepare the Passover for us, that we may eat. Who is us? He's talking about the 12 disciples. Hold on. So they said to him, who? Peter and John said to who? Jesus. Where do you want us to prepare? Uh-oh. And he said unto them, who said unto them? Now Jesus talking again. We finna get back in the red now. Behold, when you have entered the city. What city? Ask that question. For those of you who went seminary and you read your Bible and they told you, their version told you that city was Jerusalem. Hold on. And it says, behold, when you enter the city, a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. A man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house in which he enters. Let me show you where that house is. That man with the pitcher of water. That's the 11th house. Because if you know what I know now, that as they're preparing for the Lord's Supper, you are seeing 12. Listen to me. Now, Leonardo da Vinci, whatever his name is, painted this here famous portrait. Hold on, folks. And in this original famous portrait, number one, you have 12 men. 12. Oh, shit. Damn, we right back to these 12s again. Now, ain't none of these men older than this here information here carved in stone. Listen. 12 men. Each one of these men, I know now, represents these 12 constellations. 12 houses. They're almost at the end. How I know? Because Jesus told, when you get into the city, you're going to see a man with a pitcher of water. I want you to enter the house with him. A man with a pitcher of water in ancient time is here. The Aquarian, the water bear. Hold on. So now we have that. Now you got them preparing for the Last Supper. These are going to be the last, 3 days. Him here. Listen to me good, folks. I'm talking about astrology and Christianity. The origin of Christianity. Just hold on. So when you see the picture, now I'm not an artist, but just hold on. The original picture of the Last Supper. I'm gonna give y'all. I ain't good now, so don't be laughing at my pictures and shit now. But I'm gonna try to give y'all a picture, best as I possibly can. Just bear with me here. We're gonna do a little something. It ain't gonna look the best, but it's gonna make a point. So we're gonna put in. Hold on. One. Hold on. Just give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to draw. This is a picture of the original picture of the Last Supper, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Now, y'all know damn well that man wasn't around back in the ancient time when we talking about this here. So, but anyway, this is when just hold on. So we're going to go, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I should have put that the other way. I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. Quit playing. Leave me alone. It's my little art. Hold on. We finna have some fun. Hold on. Let me do it again. Hold on. All right, now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then over here, we're going to go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. Then let me, hold on, let me do something else. Let me add something to it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. We got that squared away. All right. So now we got, they preparing for, I just read to you, Jesus wanted Peter and John to prepare for the Last Supper. There it is. There it is. Now, right here on this side, according to Leonardo da Vinci, that was a feminine energy sitting to the, in your case, sitting to the right of Jesus was a feminine energy. That energy was called Mary. That's another European name. Now, hold on. There was somebody way before Mary. They just changed the names. We're not going to go into all of that. But that feminine energy represented Virgo, Mary. All right? There it is right there. Go look at the Leonardo da Vinci original photo. You're going to see a woman sitting to the right hand of Jesus. That was Mary. If I go any deeper, y'all going to start throwing rocks and bricks and eggs and shit, right? All right, so in that photo, outside over here in the corner, I'm going to try to do the best that I can. I know it don't look like one, but I'm just telling you. In that left-hand corner, that photo that Leonardo da Vinci painted of the Last Supper, there was a cow, a mother cow. According to the ancient Egyptians, this was the female pharaoh that was called Hathor. And all of the pharaohs then. Why are we talking about Egypt? Because everybody from Moses to Abraham to Jesus, Mary, Joseph, everybody, Muhammad, everybody, when they wanted to have a higher learning, knowledge, they end up in Jesus. Jesus' mom and daddy, when they was trying to flee from Herod to try to kill the first male born in each house in Egypt, in each house in that represented Israel while they was in Egypt, right? Mary and Jesus took the little lamb, took the little boy, what have you, and fled and went to where? Egypt. Your Bible tells you that when Joseph and his brothers left him on a trail or a path or a road that led to where? Egypt. They left him there. Why? To be eaten alive by the wild beast animals or what have you. Because why? He said that one day they was going to bow down and worship him. He told them that based on a dream he had and told his daddy. Y'all know the story. Who comes along and get this little young lad, if you will, this little young boy? Who comes along and gets him? A caravan of Egyptians. How I know that? It tells you in the Bible. You don't believe me? Just go back and do your little research or read. Where do they take Joseph? Now, they said Joseph is a comparison to Christ. But anyway, so they take this little dude, Joseph, back to where? Egypt. Now, this before Mary and Joseph. But they go back to Egypt. Where did Abraham go? Egypt. Listen. So they get to Egypt, he becomes what? Second in command next to Pharaoh, who were what? Sun God worshippers. Sun God worshiper. Ra, Re, what have you. Sun God worshiper. High priest, high priestess, all they did was paid attention to the cosmic. And for over 1,000 years, they just studied the cosmic and gave us our first depictions of what we call threeses, but there were 3 seasons and not 4. It's a whole nother lecture. All right, so with the Leonardo da Vinci, first a portrait of the Last Supper. This is the one that you see, and all other portraits are a version of the original version painted by Leonardo da Vinci with the mother or the cow representing the feminine energy, or the goddess or the pharaoh Hathor. Y'all got me so far. Now, over the years, just like this is version 532, if you will. Over the years, there's no cow. Where did cow go? The original cow. And what else? There's no more. There's no more feminine energy sitting next to Jesus at the Last Supper. Why was this feminine energy here, sitting next to Jesus and this Lord's Supper? Because we know that what? Judas, one of the 12, hung himself. So they needed somebody else to fill in. Mary Magdalene, not his mama. Who did he? Now that I know what I know, now the historians will tell you the real ones. I ain't talking about the ones that's out here still on this version 532. The real historians will tell you that this is Jesus, and he had a family. He married Mary Magdalene. Now y'all ain't got to believe me, because y'all think he died on the cross. And he rose 3 days later. But according to this book, and according to a clock or time, there's 24 hours in a day. 24. So if I do my math, 24 times 3, remember the number 3 now, significant. I'm going to come up with what? 72 hours. Y'all got that? So far the math good? 24 times 3 is 72 hours. All right. I know personally from studying, from research, and from this book. Now, they got so many versions and so many different books. I do know that from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday, you call Good Friday, that's when he hung on the cross and died. So anywhere between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. They said on Sunday, between 6 and 9 a.m., he rose again. All right, so we do the math, folks. This is why I don't just grab hold to Western civilization astrology. All right, so if we do the math, so from 6 p.m. to 6 Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday is 24 hours. From 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday is 24 hours. But guess what? The problem is 12 hours earlier, between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., he rose. Sunday morning, how I know? Because y'all had Easter sunrise morning on Sunday. Easter sunrise service. Yeah, you do. If you're a Christian. How I know? Because I used to pastors. So we got to take 12. So that's 6. So that's 36 hours. So 36 hours is only a day and a half. He got up too quick. He got up too quick. According to this, Friday, Saturday, 24 hours. Sunday, 24 hours. Monday, 24 hours. Jesus was supposed to rise according to 3 days and 3 nights in the grave. He was supposed to rise between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Monday. That's all I'm saying, folks. All right, back to this Leonardo da Vinci. Again, there's no mention of one named Jesus in any version of the Bible for the first 600 years of Christianity. Let me say that again. Go do your research, folks. There's no mention of Jesus, a man on the cross, a man dying on the cross. None of that. None. They kicked me out of seminary for asking questions and demanding answers from the instructors. Anyway, in this version, it's the only time you're going to start seeing Jesus, that name. That's the 1611, 1613 version and edition of 532. Final version comes out, it's 533. Listen to me, folks. So since there's no Jesus for the first 600 years, none. No stories, no nothing. Only thing people know about is this. The S-U-N. That's what gives you life, the S-U-N. You can't prove somebody in the cosmic roaming around somewhere in the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is based on the zodiac wheel. There's nobody in the cosmic that you can prove gives you life. There's nobody in heaven then that you can prove that gives you life. You can believe it. Just like you believe this version in this story. You can believe it, but you ain't got no proof. That no son, no God's son, gives you life every day. What you can prove that gives you life every day is the S-U-N. I just broke it down to you earlier. If that sun don't rise again, hold on, am I covering it up? Yeah. If that sun don't rise, what sun? This sun, not the S-O-N, this S-U-N. If this sun don't rise, 3 days, everything here dies, begins to die. 3 weeks, it's a wrap. I can prove that. You can prove that. Okay, hold on. Go outside. Look in the sky. If you see the sun, you happy. Oh, what a beautiful day. Your plants growing. Food is growing. Animals get grass. The mammals, they eat the grass. They eat the vegetation. They eat the herbs. And then we eat them. Okay. I'm just giving it to you. Water. Without the sun, there's no rain, folks. Without the sun, there's no life in the oceans, the seas, and the rivers without the sun. Without the sun, no living creature, human or being or a thing without the sun lives. Without the sun, none. The S-U-N. So what they got to do with what they got to do with tarot? Let me go back to this Leonardo da Vinci. I think I can do this. Ivory, you think you can do this? I think I can. All right. So here's the photo, the original photo, Ivory's version. Ivory's version. Ivory's version of the original photo of Leonardo da Vinci that gave you the original depiction or portrait of the Last Supper had a cow on the left-hand side. I promise you. The original photo had a feminine energy replacing Judas the traitor. That feminine energy, we know now, according to their own history, to be Mary Magdalene. The same woman who was a harlot, or what y'all would call modern day a prostitute or whore, and Jesus healed her. Hold on, let me tell you. Ain't nothing gonna heal you if the Son is not present. Let me say that again. Ding, 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 ding. Ain't nothing gonna heal you if the Son is not present. How's it gonna heal you when you're dead? The Son give it life. So she's sitting next to the Son. She said, if I could just what? The woman with the issue, if I could just touch the hem of your gown. What's the hem? It ain't a man's hem. It ain't his garment. The Son, the S-U-N. So therefore, we got 12 people here. Let's break them up. Why am I breaking them up? Because this is a depiction of the Zodiacs. Why? Because I know ain't neither one of these characters with these European names ever existed when this here Last Supper took place. At least not in that part of the world. There were no Europeans. These ain't Romans sitting at this table either. Listen, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 groups of 3s. 3 represents what I just showed you. Collaboration. 3 represents a lot of things in spirituality and as well as metaphysics. Just go back and do your research, but we're moving a little faster here. So I broke them up into 4 groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. Why did I break them up into groups? Group 1 is Aries. We're going counterclockwise. Group 1 is Aries. To the left of Jesus. Group 1 is Aries, the beginning. Then we have Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Group 2, Virgo, Libra, Leo, Virgo, and Libra. Group 3, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Group 4, Aquarius, the water bearer, Pisces. Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Y'all get what I'm saying. Jesus told all 12 of these beings to do what? Go out, speak the gospel. What is the gospel? News. Throughout the cosmic, or in your book it says throughout the world. News. From the north, south, east, west, all over the galaxy, all over the world. Follow me now. There's a problem with that. Did you write it down, Ivory? I was taking some notes right before this lie. Hold on, let me see here. Did you write it down, boy? Why you ain't write it down? They ain't gonna believe you if you ain't got no receipts. But it's not something that I'm writing that I was studying and researching before I got here. No, I just wanted to just share this little portion here with y'all and then just kind of like break it down. All right, so in group one, you have these 4 groups. They're broken up into what is called elements. Elements. Elements of what? The universe. Nature. Hold on. Elements. Let me show it to you. So you have fire equals Aries, Leo, and Sag. Listen to me good. So that would be the 1st, 5th, and the 9th house. Aries, Leo, and Sag. That would be 3 of the disciples. One side of Jesus. Hold on. The first one being the feminine. Just hold on. The next group we got is the earth element. Instead of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and all these here, his 12, it's like, listen, let me tell you something. Let me go on and give it to you. Earth. And you have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is the 2nd, 6th, and the 10th house. The third group, this is air. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or the 3rd, the 7th, and the 11th house. And then water, right? This is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, or the 4th, 8th, and the 12th house. I promise you. Now, if you add up the 1st house, the 5th house, and the 9th house of the 5 element, you come up with 15, or it breaks down to 6. What is 6? Version. Or Virgo. Listen, if you add up the 2nd house, the 6th house, and the 10th house in the earth element, you come up with 18. What does 18 break down to? 9. I'm going somewhere with it, y'all. Numbers don't lie. Leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. Then you got the 3rd group, which would be your air element, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or the 3rd, the 7th, and the 11th house. And it breaks down to, adds up to 21, or breaks down to 3. Right back where we started. Three. Last but not least, the water element, which is the 4th group, sitting at this table, is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, which is the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th house, or 24, which breaks back down to 6. And we about to end this now, y'all. Hold on. So this represents the elements of the cosmic heavens, or our planet. The sun is the light of the world. How I know? Because if you go outside, you look up in the sky, that same one sun lights the whole entire planet. It don't matter what side you're gonna see that sun. It's gonna be the light of the world. I said the S-U-N is the light and life of the world, and anything that exists and live on it. Without that S-U-N, there is no light on this planet. Hold on. And back in the ancients viewed this sun as something to be worshipped. Because why? Over time, they know without it, there's no life. There's no agriculture. How they gonna feed themselves? They can't. Anyway, listen. So it was the one thing in the cosmic that not only gave them light, it gave them life and living and growth to all living things and creations. Now, the Egyptians and the Babylonians and the Sumerian system, they were all basically sun god worshiper. All of your gods of the ancient Romans, if you will, Zeus, which is really Jesus, Zeus, which is really God. I'm just being honest with you. Just go and look. Anyway, so you have everything based on astrology. Everything. With the sun in the center. Let me go a little further and I'm done. If you look at the original photo depiction from painted of the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, right? There's a cow here. And if you look at that, you're going to see a feminine energy, a woman, sitting next to Jesus on the right. Hold on. Now watch this here. In the center of these here 12 disciples of I know and millions around the planet know never physically existed. This is a story or allegory based on astrology, what you call zodiac. In the center of these 12 beings, what you call the SON. But in that portrait by Leonardo da Vinci, around Jesus' head, sitting in the center, was the sun, SUN. And the rays of the sun, or the aura, or the corona of the sun around his head. Y'all got me so far. Now, that's representation of the SUN. Now, I'm done. I'm going to read this here. I'm going to pull a couple cards. We're going to get out of here. I want to go back to Genesis. Hold on. We're going to start this thing off. We're going to end it right here. Verse number 1, Genesis. It's supposed to be the first book of Moses, but Moses was not living when he went up on the mountain and God appeared as what? Sunlight out of the... Anyway, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness covered the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the water. Then God said, let there be light. Light. But in the beginning, God created what? The heaven and the earth. Singular. You can't have life on this planet. Listen. Light, Light, do not give life. Turn on your light now. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. First and foremost, if I go to further teaching, you got to question, well, what God said this. Because there's only one planet, Earth. It didn't say in the beginning God created the sun, Earth, Pluto. They had a name. We're only talking about a couple thousand years. I just told you the ancient Egyptians and the Sumerian, the ancient Egyptian, they studied the cosmic for 1,000 years. None but the high priestess and the magicians and the high priest created. So in the beginning, who's beginning? This history is only 6,000 plus 6,000 in about 100 some years. So that's not my beginning, because we know that there are human beings that they found remains on this planet date back millions of years. Anyway, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. He said, let there be light. If we go on down here, we find out that, and God said, let us make man. Who is us? And our likeness. Whose likeness? And our image. Whose image? Us. Who is the us? People who believe, even though it don't say it, has been told that the us is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's not true. You can't prove that with this book. You can believe it, You can't, it didn't say. If I add one word, according to this book, God's going to add the plagues of Egypt. If I take away one word from this book, he's going to take my name out of the Lamb's Book of Life. So I got to take it as is. And as is, it don't add up. If you go on down and in Genesis, I just told you, let us make man in our. That's a group of people. There's a group of gods doing something here, creating humans. And as I go into 2026 and start teaching, man, look, they can only ban me, but having a physical location, because when I go to facilities, they ban me. Once people, I remember being in Memphis, Tennessee, and for the span of about 6 to 9 months, there was a place on Popular Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee that was called the Benjamin Hooks Information Center. So this is kind of like their main library and all this other information and all of this stuff, so on and so forth. But they used to have a whole bunch of conference rooms. And then you can take the divider wall away, and then it just makes it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger space, right? All right, well, yours truly started doing the teaching that I could prove that Jesus Christ, that never existed for first 600 years of Christianity, I was just titling the video, I can prove that Jesus Christ never physically existed in 9 minutes or less at any public library. And then the video will go live, and then I will go walking through the library, and I will go and get specific books that's at any library, and then prove to you. Well, the crowd started getting bigger and bigger. People started coming in off the streets, in the library. Who is this dude in here talking? A library representative told the library management, told the library director, comes in there, say, you cannot. Now, this is freedom of speech. Now, we're in a public library. Now, I've seen Muslims go in there, Jews, everybody go in there and teach what they believe. But as soon as pastors, when I was a pastor, I used to use these same conference rooms for Bible study. No shit. But then as soon as you come in there, so then the director, and they come in there, management, and they sat out in the audience, and after I was done, they says, excuse me, Mr. Ivory? Yeah, that's me. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to allow you to rent this space again because some people are offended, as well as we would lose our funding. They didn't say because I was lying. So they banned me. I went to the streets underneath the tent, just like I started when I was a preacher, young preacher, preaching at street corners, bus stops, parks. So now I go back to the street, no longer believing. Now, if I break that word down to you, library, just tell me what it sounds like. You got to look at rhythm, vibration, and sound. The first word, if you break down the etymology, it says lie. Lie. Brary. This is a place where you go and store or bury the history of something being told. You preserving history. Some of that history in the library is not true. The majority of it. You don't believe it, do you? Basically, they saying, look, man, get your, I ain't had no books. The only book I had was this. Man, get your books. Get your briefcase, get your bag, get your shit, and get the hell out of here. Don't come back no more. They ain't never let me back. Now, fast forward. You can't go on no internet nowhere and not hear people talking about what I was talking about Way back then. Everybody talking about it. I used to teach 2 suns in the sky way back then. They said this man here retarded. Now they on the news, breaking news. Dun, 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 dun. Scientists and astrologers have spotted a second sun in our solar system. Not to mention that there's a binary planetary system or body in our solar system. Oh shit, damn, no shit. Now everybody talk about it now. I used to teach 2 moons at the library. Go outside. There's 2 moons outside. Just look at the sky. I can call people right now, they'll tell you the same thing. Eyewitnesses. Okay. Now, back to tarot. We're going to wrap this up. This Sunday hangout. Yeah. Listen. So I got all this space here. They can't kick me out no more. Listen, in this book, it says in the last days. The last day. Now, when is these days going to be? I don't know. But in the last days, it says that man would rather believe a lie than the truth. If you out here teaching the truth, telling the truth, speaking the truth, your ass is going to be hated, scolded, killed, mocked, algorithm shut down, all that shit. Okay, hold on. All right, so then, y'all messing around making me get in trouble. I ain't trying to get in trouble now. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't trying to get in trouble. Hold on. I'm gonna read something to y'all. This is something I used to teach. I'm talking about after leaving the pulpit in 1999. Hold on. This is something I've been teaching since the mid 90s. Hold on. Oh, I've been aware since the new 90s. All right, so I'm gonna go to Matthew. Now that we know that Matthew, and now I know, I should say it like that. Matthew ain't wrote shit. If he did, he only gave you a version of the truth. This is version 532. Pay attention to the frequency. Go and Google, look up what 532 frequency or hertz mean, and you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, so this is Matthew talking. Now, Jesus predicted destruction of the temple and the end days, when it's all going to be over with. Let me kind of read for a minute. Y'all mind me read for a minute. Remember how Martin Lawrence used to say, like, can I read for a minute? Can I talk to you for a minute? Bernie Mac, can I talk to y'all for a minute? Somebody drop in the comment. Can I read for a minute? Can I talk for a minute? Y'all, can I talk for a minute? Y'all okay with me talking for a minute? Hold on. Let me get some more coffee. Can I talk for a minute? I want to talk for a minute. I don't want to talk long. Can I read from the book? Somebody said go. Can I talk to y'all for y'all got a few more minutes? I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna read from the book. I'm gonna read from the book that a faggot wrote this version, authorized this version. Ain't no God in the universe, the heavens, the cosmic, told this here faggot, gave this faggot authorization and his gay friend to write any damn thing. Now get mad and throw eggs at me. So if you don't know who your King James is, you need to go and find out who your King James is. Then when you find out who your King James is, then I want you to come back and tell me whether or not some God up in the sky, in the cosmic, in a kingdom, in a heaven, told this faggot boy to write any damn thing. Hold up. Now leave me alone. Hold on, I'm gonna read. I ain't gonna read to you from my book. I'm gonna read to you from your book. I ain't gonna read to you from my book. I'm gonna read to you from your book. That way, if you get mad or you feel some type of way, or you want to do something, you want to throw eggs, you're gonna have to throw eggs at the man who wrote these words, they say. But these words that I'm gonna read is in red. That's who's talking. Who talking then if it's in red? Huh? Y'all know who talking. Hey, see, they get out of here. This ain't one of them popular videos. You ain't gonna see no 1,000 views here. They might shut it down. Hold on. Let's see what. Now it's in red now. Hold on, I'm gonna read it to you. I got it highlighted. This is one of my old raggedy ones. I've been had this Bible for years. Hold on. It's in red. Look at all this red. That's the law talking. This the son, the S-O-N talking. Here we go. Matthew. What chapter? The 24th chapter. What is this chapter about? Let's get a little highlight. The theme of this chapter is Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple and the end of the world. It says it right there. Don't go get yours. You got a Bible. They got them down there at the corner store too. You go anywhere and get a Bible. Anyway, listen. Then Jesus went out. I'm just reading. You know, like bedtime stories. You ain't got to believe what I'm reading. I'm just reading from the Bible. You ain't got to believe it. They're just coming from the book. That's all. It ain't my book. I didn't write this. Then Jesus went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to show him the buildings of the temple. So far, Jesus came out of the temple, what you would call the modern day church, whatever. And this is on Passover. Listen. He come out of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, who is them? Who is he talking to? His disciples. How I know? Because he finna tell you. Hold on. And Jesus said unto them, do you not see all these things? Talking about these buildings. Assuredly, or therefore, I say unto you, not one stone on these buildings shall be left here upon another, that shall not be thrown down or destroyed. Now, this is the sign of the last days, the end time, the end of whatever. They say the age or the world. Now, he sat on Mount Olive. That's just right outside of Jerusalem, folks, if you ain't never been there. He sat on Mount Olive. The disciples came to him privately. Who came to him privately? The disciples. Saying what? Tell us. Who are they talking to? Jesus. When will these things be? What things? The destruction of Jerusalem, the end of the world. That's what the book says right here in chapter 24. I'm not making this up. Tell us when these things be. And what shall be the sign of your coming? And the end of the world. That's what I'm reading it. The end of the world, folks. Listen. And Jesus answered and said unto them, who? The disciples. Who was the disciples? The one that came to him privately with some questions. And Jesus said unto them, take heed that no man deceives you. Uh-oh. Deception. Remember now, the first 600 years, ain't nobody talking this. Ain't nobody saying these words. They ain't talking about no Lord's Supper, foot washing. They ain't talking about none of it. They ain't talking about no sun, none of this here. The same group of people that I keep telling y'all. But anyway, 600 years, nobody talking about the cross. Everybody talking about the sun, the moon, planets, constellations, the animal representations for each of your zodiac. Each one of us have an animal. Anyway, y'all making me go back to teach. Nope, listen. Jesus said, take heed that no man deceive you. For many will come in my name, saying I am the Christ, and will deceive many. So you can't say Islam, you can't say Jews or Judaism coming in his name saying that I'm the Christ. Why? Because they don't believe this. The Jews, according to this book, they had the dude killed. So they ain't telling you somebody else coming back. The Muslims is not telling you Jesus is coming back. They just these here group anyway. I am Christ, and many shall receive me. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. It ain't talking about today. Ain't nobody here listening to this. Ain't nobody here talking but him and these disciples. And one other person, Mary Magdalene. How I know? Because she was in the picture. She was the first one, the Marys, the women was the first one to see him after he died. After he rose again. Mary ain't never left him. She was here. Go look at the picture. Hold on. T-Child. You will hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye are not troubled. Who is he talking to? His disciple. He ain't talking to you. Him not talking to me. He talking to who? Him disciples. Where is he talking to them at? On the Mount of Olives. Who's around them? Nobody. How I know? Because it said they came to him privately. Read, and you will hear wars and rumors of wars. See that your heart not be troubled. For all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Uh-oh. It's finna get interesting. The end is not yet. For a nation. What nation? This is back then now. He talking to a disciple. Ain't no America. He ain't talking about the future. I'm going to prove it to you in a minute. Ain't no America. Ain't no Britain. Ain't no none of this. Ain't no Mormons. Ain't no Kojic. Ain't no Baptist church. Ain't none of this yet. Read Ivory. For a nation. Who was existing back then? Rome, Samaria, Egypt, Greece. Read Ivory. For a nation shall rise up against nation. I already know this to be true because I got a degree in religious studies. Listen. And kingdom against kingdom. That's down here on earth. Watch this here. And there would be famines, pestilence, earthquakes in various places or in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrow. Who is he talking to? Him talking to him disciples. Where they at? On the Mount of Olives. Who around them? Nobody. How did they come to him? Privately. Who is he talking to? The disciples. He ain't talking to Ivory. I wasn't there. He ain't talking to you. You wasn't there. He was. Y'all get it? And they would deliver you up to tribulation. This is Jesus talking to his disciples. And kill you. This is Jesus talking to his disciples. And ye will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. He is talking to his disciples. Hold on. And then many will be offended and will betray one another and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will arise up and deceive many. Hold on. Listen, watch this here. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold or wax cold. But he who endured until the end shall be saved. Listen. Listen. And this gospel of the kingdom, this gospel news of the kingdom, this is the kingdom, this is heaven, this is the cosmic, this is the sky, this is heaven, this is astrology, this is the kingdom. Who sits in the center of the kingdom of heaven? This is heaven. You look up, you see what? Heaven. It's the sun. This gospel, good news of the kingdom. Hold on. This gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world. World is not, go and Google, look up the word world, and you will find that it is not a physical place. It is a system. This preached to the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. The end of what? Everything that he's talking about. Who is he talking to? His disciples. Now watch this here. Therefore, when you see, now this is now talking to them presently, meaning that, hey, disciples, you're going to see it with your own eyes. Not after you dead and gone. You're going to, when ye see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, where? In the temple. Listen, whoever reads, let him understand. That's in black. That is not in red. The translator of this here, from stone to scroll to papyrus to paper, jumps in and inputs something here and says what? Whosoever read, let him understand. Why? It is all black. That ain't Jesus talking. I'm going to show it to you. Where my big finger at? I'm going to put this all black. Right underneath that black line. All of a sudden, Jesus stopped talking, and whoever is translating this here, that's supposed to be, according to Matthew, is saying something. Not Jesus. Now watch this here. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Talking to his disciples now, privately. Let him who is on the mountaintop, don't go down to take anything out of the house. And let him who is in the field, don't even go back to get his clothes. But woe Woe means destruction. But woe to those who are pregnant, talking about women, and to those who are nursing babies in those days. Not these days, those days. We love to read and teach from the Bible as if Jesus is talking to us right now. He talking to his disciples on Mount Olives privately. He says, you gonna see this with your own, meaning that you gonna be living when this shit start happening. Don't throw no eggs at me now. Hold on. If you want to throw eggs at anybody, throw it at King James. If you want to throw eggs at anybody, throw it at the Roman Catholic Church. You want to throw it at anybody, throw the eggs at the Council of Nicaea and Constantine. Don't throw them at me. I ain't write this. I'm not the one talking here. Jesus talking. Watch this here. But woe to those who are pregnant. I read that. And pray that your flight may not be in the winter or on the Sabbath. That's Saturday, folks. For then there will be a great tribulation such as not ever been since the beginning of the world until this time. Not that time. That's the future. This time. Not these days. Those days. Hold on. And unless those days be shortened, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, it ain't talking about 144,000. It would have said it here. This Jesus talking. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. It's finna get interesting, folks. Then if anyone say to you, he talking to who? His disciples. Where? On Mount Olive. Who around them? Nobody. How I know? Because they came to him privately. Then if anyone say to you, look, here is the Christ, or there, do not believe it. This is the Son talking. The S-U-N. I know now. Listen. For false Christ and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders and to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Who is the elect? The one that was going to survive after all this here shit go down. The wars, the famines, the disease, and so on and so forth. When? In those days. Hold on. Wait a minute. See, I have told you beforehand. Therefore, hold on. Therefore, if they say to you, look, he's there, don't believe him, right? He's in the inner room, don't believe him. Do not. Now, in order for you to be a false Christ, you got to be already one that's a believer in Christ. If you want to be, if there's to be an antichrist, then that means to be somebody that's copying. So what? The own enemy of the church. Don't be looking for some foreign man to be an antichrist if you still believe this. This dude, whoever y'all claim he is coming right out from amongst you. So don't be calling the Muslims evil. Muslims don't call the Christians evil. Jews and so on and so forth. Because why? All of them came from the same teachings. Father Abraham, who never physically existed. I can tell you who Abraham is in the Bible. You just got to keep up with me in 2026. For as the lightning comes from the east there's the east, and goes to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. One day I'm going to teach y'all about the sun, and your original sun for this solar system is Sirius. Sirius B. You don't believe me? That star that you look up and you'll see. It's returning again. That's why you see two suns. Boy, if I get deep on y'all, y'all gonna get mad at me. Hold on. And if anyone said, no, I'm past that. Hold on. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Son. I promise you it's S-U-N. Because when this book was written, this version, the first 600 years, there was no Son of Man. The Son of Mankind has always been the Son, S-U-N, that gives you life and gives it to you every day and gives you abundance of life. Read, Ivory, for wherever the carcase is, right? The eagle's nest will be gathered. Here we go, y'all. Immediately after the tribulation of those days. Talking to his disciples now. They getting ready to go through this shit. Not me and you. Listen, immediately after the tribulation of those days, now the sun will darken. Uh-oh. And the moon will drip with blood. Yin yang in this thing now. Sun is masculine. Moon is feminine. And when the sun darkens and the moon, which is the feminine, which affects our emotions, our feelings, our expressions. When the sun shall darken and the moon drip with blood, you ain't gonna never, how's you gonna see blood dripping from the moon? Think about the deception. Now, he just told them, the first warning he gave these dudes, take heed that no man deceive you. So if you think you're gonna look up one day, you're going to see the moon. You know how small a blood drop? Most of y'all can't even see a damn blood drop falling from your cut hand. Dripping. So how's you going to see the moon dripping with blood? Boy, I tell you the truth. The sun is going to darken. First time you talking about the sun now. You ain't talking about him. The moon will drip with blood. And in some versions, it says the moon drip with blood. And here it says the moon is not going to give its light. It says the stars. Just talking about before he come now. The stars. This is all astrology. This is an astrological event, and I can prove it to you further, folks. The stars will fall from heaven. Where is heaven? Right here. Because each constellation and all these planets got its own sun and its own planets, its own moon, and a star constellation around it. There are 12 bright stars in the north. Go outside and look at them at night. There are 12 bright stars in the south. The lightning, before he come, he says, Just like the light, it flashes from the east to the west. Hold on, y'all. This is an astrological event. This don't mean that Negroes or Europeans or Jews or Romans, Greeks, and Chinese and Japanese. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody going up in no sky. Hold on now. Hold on now. The stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of heavens and earth. You go heaven, and here go earth. Where it at? Little bit of earth right here. I'm going to point to earth with my fingertip. There go earth. Because this is the universe. This is the galaxy. This is a lot. Earth is just one little small dot. Hold on. Hold on. Then the sign. It says the sign. Listen. The sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. Did y'all catch that? I'm reading to you again. This verse 30, if you want to go back and read. It says, then, after all I done said, then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. It didn't say, then the Son of Man will appear in heaven. Just a sign. All right, y'all catch that? And then all the tribes of the earth. It didn't say all the tribes of Israel. All the tribes of the earth will mourn. Because why? The sun has darkened, won't give its light, and the moon will drip with blood, or it won't have its light. Listen, the sign of the Son of Man appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven, singular, with power and great glory. Watch this here. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven. There's more than one heaven now. And earth. Hold on. Almost done. Now learn this here parable. This is Jesus still talking to his disciples privately, not publicly. They ain't standing outside the temple in Jerusalem. They ain't standing outside the church chopping it up and talking. No, they done went all the way over there to the Mount Olive. This might not even be the same day, but listen. Now learn a parable from the fig tree. When its branches are already become tender and put forth leaves, you know that summer is near, right? This is him talking to his disciples privately. So also, when ye shall see all these things, what things that I just mentioned? The wars, the rumors of wars, the earthquakes, the famines, all of this here. So when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. That's like right now. It's about to happen. When you see these signs, it's like, all right, boys, make sure you got your shit together. I'm going to give y'all a date here in a second. It says, verily. or assuredly or guaranteed. That's what assuredly means in translation. That's what verily means in translation. Guaranteed. Assuredly, verily, I say to you, who? The disciples. He ain't talking to nobody else. Don't nobody hear this but him and them. I say unto you, this generation shall not, will not pass. It didn't say that generation. It didn't say the last generation. It didn't say my generation. It didn't say your generation. It's in red. That's the dude talking. That's Jesus talking now. So if you want to you want to dispute anybody, debate anybody, debate Jesus. Don't debate me. I'm just reading. It says this generation, because he told them they was gonna see it with their own eyes. This generation shall not pass until all these things take place. How many years is the generation? Let me see. Generation is anywhere, I was told, between 25 and 40 years. Or if a woman at age, say whatever she is, she gives birth to a child, that starts the generation, the next generation. Y'all got that? It says in this generation. How long is a generation? From the time a woman give birth to a child, according to them, they said in this book, this version 532, they said a generation is about 40 years. Because they said what? Jesus came down from 40 to generation. They considered a 40 was a young number back then, but 40 being a generation. Hold on. Listen, I'm almost done. It says, in other words, verily I say unto you, surely, guarantee I say unto you, this generation will not pass until all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away before all this shit happens. Heaven and earth will pass away. But my words, what I'm saying to y'all, the disciples, but my words will by no means pass away. In other words, heaven and earth will be gone before. In other words, these things that happen first before heaven and earth pass away. It's like he's guaranteeing the disciples. Listen. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, not even me, but only my Father. Let me close this book up. Let me tell you why I'm going to close this book up. For so many years, I taught from the pulpit, waiting on the rapture, waiting on not wanting to be here during the Great Tribulation. It was later on in years that when I read and I researched and I asked questions, okay, everybody is waiting on the blessed hope, the rapture. Hold on. But I shared with y'all. I want y'all to write this name down, please. I know that I have a lot of Christians on my channel. I know this. I know this. All right, I'm gonna pin this to the top. I'm gonna throw y'all a little. I'm gonna give y'all a little homework, if you will. All right, it's pinned to the top. I want you to go and Google. If you don't want to Google, go to your library. If you don't want to go to your library, chat GPT. Whatever you want to, however you want to go and find this information. I'm just giving you what to look for. The name. I want you to go and research John Nelson Darby. I've been knowing this for years, folks. And you will find out that John Nelson Darby, a religious figure, is the one that came up with the rapture story in the 1830s. I promise you. I can prove it. You can prove it to yourself. You ain't got to believe me. Before this book was ever written, after this book was ever written, until 1830s, there was no mentioning in Corinthians 1 and 2, in Thessalonians 1 and 2, in Revelation, you will never find before 1830s anything talking about a snatching up, a coming to get people being raptured until 1830s. The book is out there. You can go get his book. You can go get all of it. The Catholic Church that gave you the origin of Christianity, they didn't accept that. So they didn't. You're not gonna go get a Catholic book and see the rapture in there. You're not gonna hear priests from the Catholic Church talk about the rapture, with the exception of the modern priests. Because why? It's all about this. And they are banning me for saying that. But I'm telling you the truth. The whole Passover is talking about an astrological event. If the rapture was real, I just read to you that this generation, that generation, him talking to his disciples, he ain't talking to nobody else. He ain't talking to me. He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to Constantine. He ain't talking to King James. He ain't talking to no damn body, but his disciples. And he letting them know, you're going to live to see this. So what happens, Jesus passed and he dies, they say, on the cross in 33 AD. The mastery number of Freemasons. How long is a generation then? 40 years. So Jesus is basically telling his disciples, this generation, so for the next 40 years, this generation is not going to pass. Y'all going to be, some of y'all going to still be living. You're going to see this shit. What happens in 73 AD? Titus Flavius, his dad Vespasian, who is the new emperor of Rome, they done killed the other emperor. The Roman Senate had him killed. That's why I don't get involved in politics. And that was a time, I think around 63 BC, that then Vespasian, the emperor, he was then the captain of the Roman army. He went into Jerusalem to destroy Jerusalem and got his ass whooped by the so-called Jews. Now, these was dark, melanated people. It wasn't Matthew folk, it wasn't Mark folk, it wasn't John's folk. It wasn't Luke's folks. These are European folk. He went into Jerusalem and got their ass whooped. The Roman Empire by melanated people that look like me and you. I'm not bullshitting now. I'm telling you true history now. By the time Nero gets his head cut off, the Roman emperor, because of his corruption and him just destroying that empire, so to speak, or republic, they had him killed. Just like they have folks killed these days. Just like they tried to kill Trump, whatever, right? And the Roman Senate voted the captain of Rome's military, which is Vespasian, Flavius, to become the new Roman emperor. Listen to me good, folks. The Roman people in the Senate saw Vespasian as God. He had, because he went and destroyed these Jews, melanated people, he had a son whose name was Titus. Titus now heads, after his dad becomes the emperor of Rome. This is the same family, the Flavians, that built and gave you the Roman theater. This is where you get all of your gladiators, your sports, your acting, all of this is shit. So he made his son now the captain of the Roman army. Titus went into Jerusalem. I can read to you more where the prophets or the foretellers spoke of a future event that Jerusalem would be encamped about with its enemies, coming in off the sea or the shores, coming in on the shores of Galilee. Listen to me, folks. And they sat there for months, for weeks, outside of the holy city of Jerusalem with these walls. And starved these people out. Then went in and did exactly what Jesus said they was going to do. They destroyed the temple. They took up spoils. They raped and murdered. They burned it down. No stone was left standing, and Jerusalem was desolate, just like Jesus said in 73 AD. Now you can go back and get you your research, get you your Google, and find out and ask questions and start just with that. I don't depend on Google for just research, but you can even ask Google, when did Rome invade Jerusalem in the biblical days? It's going to say 73 AD. It's going to say 73 AD. It's going to say 73 AD. That's one generation, 40 years, from the time that Jesus said that at age 33. 33 and 40 is 73. Why is all this important, folks? When I do tarot, I really, really, really based it on this. This is the reason why. Everything that I just showed you here, for those that was here at the beginning, I share with you even here. My birth chart for dummies. I don't come to you with the Romans version of astrology. Because if I did, then I would have to say, instead of universe, instead of God, I would have to say Zeus. Most people are worshiping Zeus and don't even know it. His son Titus, now that Vespasian and the Roman Empire considers him the god of Rome, because that's the way they believed back then. Then who is his son? Titus. Makes Titus who? The son of God. Titus goes in to Jerusalem, destroys Jerusalem. He leaves from Jerusalem and he takes spoils, meaning that gold, whatever. He goes back to his dad in Rome. And he first mentions these words. He tells his dad, Dad, I'm paraphrasing. You can go read the history books or whatever. Dad, I'm bringing back to you good news of a military victory. The gospel means good news of a military victory. And I just read it to you. Good news don't mean preaching. Good news is talking about the spoils, him telling his dad stories of the good news of destroying Jerusalem, defeating them militarily, and taking the spoils thereof. If you're waiting, hold on, I'm gonna read one more thing. I promise you this time. This is my Sunday hangout. Y'all getting the beginning. Hold on, I'm gonna read to y'all one more thing and I'm done. Hold on. I don't debate the Bible, folks. I promise you. You'll never get me in a debate because unless you've done your research and your studying, I'm not going to debate no Bible, no Torah, no Quran. I was a pastor. I was a devout Muslim. I just ain't never been no Hebrew Israelite. You're not going to tell me nothing about the Quran. I still can pray in Arabic. All of my 5 salats. All of my 5 prayers. I can say them in Arabic. Still to this day. I don't because I know who I'm talking to. Anyway, let me go back here to Genesis. Hold on. I'm going to read something to y'all. This is very interesting. Now, what I'm going to read to you is proof that a lot of us has a cosmic origin. I repeat, everybody that's listening to this video, the majority of us have a cosmic origin. I'm going to read to you. Hold on. Hold on. A lot of y'all need to just start asking yourself, okay, so why would the Catholic Church, we know this to be true, why would the Catholic Church leave 26 books out of the Bible and don't tell nobody about it? All right, so I'm going to read to y'all from here, which will be the 6th chapter. I think I may have mentioned this before to y'all, I don't know. The 6th chapter of the book of Genesis. This is in the beginning, folks. We ain't gonna have to go back and debate New Testament, Old Testament. Okay, hold on, listen. It says here, chapter 6. I've been knowing this here since the 90s, folks, mid-90s. I was at the library every day. There was no social media. A lot of writings, a lot of tablets, a lot of typing on typewriters. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I take this here shit serious. When man began to multiply, this is Genesis, the 6th chapter. My point that I'm proving here is a lot of us, the majority of us, have a cosmic origin. Not from a white man, excuse my French, not from a white man, two ribs. All right. When man began to multiply, this is in Genesis now. This is like Noah's sons after the flood. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. If you want to know the original story of what I'm about to read you, I want you to go get this book right here. When you're talking about after the storm or after the flood, you want to go get the book. It's called The Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, they got different versions of it. This is just the one that I have. It's a good one, though. All right. The Epic of Gilgamesh. All right. Here we go. So after the flood, Noah, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay. When man began to multiply on the face of the earth or the land, and daughters were given or were born to them after the flood. So this would be who? Shem, Ham, and Japheth having children. Because Noah was gone now. He was gone. All right. It says, the sons of God, after men began to multiply on the face of the earth after the flood. You can read the whole story in the Epic of Gilgamesh. But after men began to get back with women, and they had daughters. It don't even say sons. It says daughters was born unto them. The sons of God, listen, saw the daughters of man. Now, God is not of this earth. Never lived down here. Remember now, God got this earthly kingdom up here. They got all this here up here. You got me? God controls all of this. Now, God is in the heavens, right? All your big 3 religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, is waiting. They refer to their God in the sky, in the cosmic, in the heavens, right? But everybody's God is the baddest God. All right. The sons of God saw the daughters of man. So if God is not of this earth, anything that's not of this earth has what origin? Alien origin. They're not from here. Now, I know what God is talking about. I know which God this is of this book. But just for your sake of reading and until you research, God ain't from this earth. His boys ain't from this earth. They of another planet, another galaxy, another kingdom, somewhere else other than Earth. Unless they just wandering around in the cosmic. No, it says God got a place. Y'all gonna go one day. Streets paved with gold, right? You got your own mansions and all. So that's a place. So wherever that place is, he got some sons. He got some boys. But what they ass doing down here doing this here type of shit? Listen, it says the sons of God saw the daughters of man and they was attracted. Damn, so the sisters was looking good. Can I teach? I'm just trying to show y'all that a lot of y'all jokers out here, including me, you got some alien origin. Hey, hold on. The sons of God saw the daughters of men and they was attracted. They looked good. Ooh, they were fine. Man, they look good. Man, I bet you them. Listen now, listen. Now, some people want to say that these are fallen angels. It didn't say fallen angels. It says sons of God. Saw the daughters of man, and they was attracted. They looked good. Damn, did you see Shafronia? Shafronia look fine, boy. Ooh wee. They over here lusting after our sister, brothers. Man, you see Pokemon, boy, Pokemon. You see Pocahontas look good, boy. They talking amongst each other, the sons of God. Boy, I sure love to get with Kim. Judy got a big old butt. Y'all better leave me alone now. I'm telling you now. I've been doing this shit, boy, for years. And they took them as wives any amount that they wanted to. So they had multiple women. They didn't just get with the daughters of the man, us, brothers. Said, damn, boy, girl, look good. See it. And I think I want to hit that. I think I want to tap that. And then took wives, many as they wanted to. I'm reading it. This right after the flood. Now, if you want to find out more about the flood, the original story, see that stone? Okay, let me give it to y'all again now. First, you're going to have stone, scrolls, papyrus, paper, and then media. Books. So these jokers done left from their daddy's house, wherever that is, wherever planet that is. I don't know. I know, but I'm just saying, according, they ain't telling you what planet. They just said sons of God. They didn't come from here. Now y'all see why they kicked me out the library. And they took as many wives as they wanted. Now God got something to say. Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not always abide in man forever. Wait a minute. Man didn't go to heaven. Man didn't go to God's kingdom messing around with his son's women. So why is God mad at man? Now, Jesus just told y'all, take heed. The first advice he gave his disciples on Mount Olive, talking to them privately, the first advice he gave them, I can read it to you again. Take heed that nobody deceive you. Don't let nobody trick you. That's the first word advice he gave. So now this God of this book got something to say. Said, my spirit. That lets you know right now he ain't a man. That lets you know right now he ain't a man. Listen, my spirit shall not always abide with man forever. For his flesh, his days shall be numbered 120 years. So why is God of this book punishing man? Because his sons come down here flirting with our women, taking our women as many as they want for wives and having babies. But he got mad at us. Listen, his days going to be 120 years. The Nephilims were on the earth in those days. Who are Nephilims? Go and research it. These are giants. So you mean to tell me that these here big giant dudes hold on now, listen. Y'all got to think. So you mean to tell me the sons of God, these big old dudes, you call them fallen angels, demons, whatever you want to call them. I'm talking about what the Bible said. It didn't say fallen angel, demon, it said his sons. They gonna come down here and get with my girl, Lil Pookie. Lay down with her and have some children. Can you imagine how big these damn kids was? First and foremost, can you imagine a giant laying down with a woman? Can I talk grown folk talk for a minute? Hitting it from the back. I want y'all to visual. I'm reading from the Bible, folks. What book you thought I was reading from? They're not going to tell you this is Sunday school. They'll skip over this. And Nephilim were born and were on the earth in those days. It didn't say these days. The old days. And also afterwards. So then now we got these giants having babies in those days and after. What's after? Right now. Uh-oh. Houston, we got a problem. Boy, let me tell y'all something. If y'all mess around and follow me in 2026 and they ban me, you're going to witness it live. Because when they banned me 6 times, I've been banned from social media from various different sites. Reading from the book, teaching from the book that I used to teach and preach, pastor and all this from. You're going to witness yourself. When I go talking about the rapture, you're going to witness it yourself. One of these sons, listen, boy, man, look. Teach Ivory. The Nephilims were born on the earth in those days. I'm reading from Genesis, the 6th chapter, and afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men of old, the men of renown. These were giants. You didn't fuck with Hercules. Goliath, who Daniel slew, was a giant. My point is, a lot of us has, according to this book, alien ancestral lineage from other planets, from somewhere else. I'm reading it to you. Ain't nobody else gonna teach this like this now. I'm telling you now, listen. The Lord, who is the Lord now? The word Lord is a Roman name. So the same religious institution that gave you Christianity, which originally was a sect, a secret society. These are the Sanhedrins, the Sadducees, Pharisees. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth. What? So your boys, giants, and came down here and got with our little sisters, sleeping with them, laying with them, marrying them, many they want, having babies. And you mad at us? And that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. He talking about man. We ain't do nothing. Oh, so you go and you grab my woman, you grab quote unquote the equivalent of my wife back in biblical time, and I go get something and try to bust your big giant ass upside the head. Your God mad at me? And that every intention was evil. Listen, and the Lord regretted that he made man on earth, but he don't regret what his sons did. He don't regret what his son did. He just regret what we brothers did. And it grieved him. It was sad. He was sad to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created. He didn't do it by himself. I just read to y'all in Genesis. Let up. Okay. I will blot out, quote, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animal. Why is he mad at the animals? What the animals do? And creeping things and the birds. For I am sorry that I have made them. The birds wasn't sleeping with women. The lions, the elephants, the tigers, they wasn't running around here sleeping with women. Silverback gorillas, monkeys, chimpanzees, wasn't nobody around here sleeping with women. The eagle wasn't sleeping with women. The fish wasn't sleeping with women. It was your sons. Your sons. We try to fight for our women, to get our women back. What the hell can I do fighting a giant? It's gonna take a bunch of us, brothers, to take on a giant. They down here creating, having babies, huh? God mad at us, huh? But Noah, here we go. Gilgamesh. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the God of the Bible. Well, damn. These are the generation of Noah. We ain't going to go into all of this here. My point is you got alien beings from another planet called the sons of God sleeping with, having children with women on the earth. They bearing children that turns out to be Nephilims, giants. And God is mad at me. When I tell y'all that we've been lied to so much, version 500 and something. If you go back and get the original version, it's going to take you back to stone. That's why if I was going to read a book called the Bible, I want to read it with all the books in it. All 92, 93 books. I want them all. So the Vatican, who gave you this version, left out this book, Enoch, the book of Esther, the book of Mary Magdalene, the book of Jesus, the book of everybody. So many books. That's why they do not teach all of this. The Catholic Church is not teaching rapture, folks. Now people are seeing, quote unquote, alien sightings by the thousands around the world every day. We find, I just read to you, even after the flood, they were still, these giants didn't die. Because why? I said they was having children by the daughters of man afterwards. I just read it to you. Let's say, for example, and I'm closing. Let's say, for example, I'm a descendant of one of these sons of God, these aliens. Let's just say, take all of the descendants on the planet of the earth, all these women that bore children to these sons of God, and they had sons and daughters, and they had sons and daughters, and they had sons and daughters, and they had sons and daughters. And they created us. Okay, so let me read that to you. Now that you know who the sons of God was, hold on, let me read this to you. Y'all ain't gonna believe me until I give y'all receipts. I know how y'all roll. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put a little more pimp in it. Genesis, first chapter now. I already read to y'all. Nowhere in this book do you see what the God of the Bible created the sun, S-U-N. All right. Y'all cool with that? All right, now hold on. Listen. Genesis, first chapter, verse 26. Don't worry, I got it highlighted. See, y'all don't read y'all don't study y'all. For those of you who are Christian, listen. Go do your research. Quit believing what these preachers saying over the pulpit. The majority of them don't know what they talking about. Not as far as origin and history. Now listen, Genesis 1 and 26. First chapter now. Then God said, let us make man in our likeness and in our image, after our likeness. Then he talked to his boys. He talking to, it's more than just God doing, make creep. Read it again. Then God said, let us make man in our likeness, in our image, after our likeness. Look like us, act like us. And let them, us, the descendants of these sons of God, and let them have dominion over the fish, who God was mad at, and over the sea, over the birds, who God was mad at, of the heavens, and over the livestock, who God was mad at, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing on the earth. This God and his sons, or God and some more aliens, creating humans. Way before Adam. Now, Adam don't get created until the second chapter. Eve get created, they get created after. Anyway, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. I'm in chapter 1. I'm sorry, I haven't made it to Adam and Eve yet. You want to screenshot it, blow it up, or you just go read it for yourself. Screenshot it. There's a purpose we all have. And when you start seeing and hearing about 2 suns, 2 moons, other planets, aliens that are on this earth that have never left, they still here. There are giants still on this land. And when you fuck with their creation, listen to me good, folks. When you fuck with their creation, they babies, they Nephilim descendants, they coming back to whoop ass. I don't worry about an alien. Like I've said before, you will see an alien in the sky, an alien spacecraft in the sky. You will be snatched up. You will be taken away by an alien before you are snatched up by Jesus Christ in the rapture. Let me say that again to you. You will be snatched up, caught up, abducted by an alien. You will see an alien in the sky before you see one named Jesus Christ. There is 3 objects, 2017, 2019, and 2025. These are supposed to be interstellar objects. There were no Europeans in the Bible during the creation in Genesis. I'm telling you that. Three interstellar objects. Now, this last one that they out here fussing over and arguing over and debating over, this damn thing is huge. Some of your independent astrologers have seen a swarm of other crafts that come out of this damn thing. NASA, never a straight answer, came on with their little breaking news conference and shit and showed everybody a blur in the damn sky. With all this powerful technology, telescopes, even on Mars, of which this here 3-eye atlas I call Third Eye Atlantean was close to Mars, October 3rd. Then they blame the shutdown. I told y'all they shut this motherfucker down. Your government shut this damn country down because, not because of food fucking stamps. They shut your government down because they had to come up with what bullshit are we gonna tell the people of America and the people on this earth about this damn thing up here. So they had to come up with some shit. How in the hell? You know you ain't getting ready. Excuse my French, it's mostly white men. You are not finna get ready to tell these European men the government is shut down. Hey, fellas, we're gonna shut down the government. No more pictures. I don't want y'all working. I don't want y'all taking no pictures of this damn thing until we open back up this government after 40-some days. Hold on. Then when the government open back up, they still didn't come forward. Then when they do come forward, they got a damn image that I could have took a 3-eye atlas with my damn cell phone. Don't nobody believe that shit, not even me. And I pay for an official NASA. It's like, when them motherfuckers go live, whatever they share, goddamn it, I pay for it. I'm gonna see it before you see it. That's why I look at it like, oh man, they with that shit. Man, nobody want to see that shit. But you got independent astrologers, astronomers. I've had a closing encounter. I've shared this with y'all years ago. That changed my fucking life and changed how I see life and changed how I see shit. Had me questioning who the fuck I was and who I am and where I came from and all this other shit that I've been told because I know what I saw. Well, not of this planet. Now I'm able to see shit because why? Let me tell you something with telepathic communication. When people, for those who have had these encounters, you can hear these beings talk, communicate without opening mouth. I don't open my mouth. I hear clearly. And ever since then, I've been telling people, look, y'all, we've been lied to. We've been lied to. Now we'll see what comes of this thing. So December the 19th is supposed to pass by its closest view of the earth, meaning that it's wide open for everybody to see. They don't want to tell you about the pyramids. They don't want to tell you about civilizations underneath the earth. They don't want to tell you about civilizations living right now in the bottom of your oceans and in your. They don't want to tell you about the Grand Canyon. They don't want to tell you about the Mississippi Delta, the Nile, Mississippi River. They don't want to tell y'all nothing, but we know now. And they done fucked around and created what is called AI. AI ain't gonna lie. They done messed around and created some shit called Chat GPT. Now they trying to hide this shit. Now I done told y'all, between now and 2043, 2044, there will be no more United States Constitution, no more United States of America by 2043, 2044. Listen to me real good. That ain't a long time from here. There will not be. You will not be going, people are not going to be going to church. They're not going to be going to temples. They're not going to be going to mosques 2043, 2044. Because of what the planet is about to see in the skies is where I get my phrase, keep your eyes on the sky. I've been saying it for almost 30 years now. When I say keep your eyes on Asia, yours truly got into some trouble and got booted off of social media because I told everybody that this here, quote unquote, this virus they called that caused everybody to get locked down. I told everybody that shit was coming out of Asia. Where's China in Asia? We all know that now. They didn't have to tell me I was spewing out misinformation because everybody know your ass got locked down, like I said in 2017. Right? Your ass, I did the video, don't take the shot before you knew what a shot was. I told y'all the 5 cities by which they was going to allow this bullshit to go airborne. I was telling people in live videos, hey, look, y'all, they're going to let these folks leave from China and get on these damn airplanes after they celebration, their New Year's celebration, and head and be dispersed, and they all going to go back to wherever they from around the world, including America. Bringing that shit right here. They banned me. The only way I was able to come back, I had to come back like this. This is the only way they let me back in on social media. Tarot. not knowing that I was connected with the cosmic, not knowing that I got alien, like many of y'all, I done showed you now, I done read it to you from the good book, not knowing that I got what? Ancestral terrestrial origin. Maybe one of God's sons, according to this here Bible, got with a feminine woman, a black woman, or a woman, a melanated woman, and I came through that lineage. And now they're able to tell me shit and show me some shit, tell you shit and show you some shit. Most people who are psychic, they operate in the realm outside of this planet and religion. So I had to come back. The only way I can get back, I had to come back through the back door of social media by way of tarot. The only way they'll let me back, folks. I promise you this. I tried. That's why I take all of this serious. This is based on 12 houses. Tarot is based on 12 houses. And the affecting energy for all of us on this planet is the sun, not S-O-N, the sun and the moon. I'm going to come back. I ain't going nowhere. What time is it? It's 4:40. I'm going to come back and we're gonna deal with this here. We're going to deal with some things. I'm going to get whoever got a mini reading, come on back. Come on back. Please come on back. Y'all see this here? You need to know what this means, folks. Hidden knowledge, esoteric, metaphysical, spirituality, magic, mysticism, moon, feminine energy, Piscean energy, 12th house energy. Once we get to here, everything that's hidden, we're in the 11th house now, I keep telling folks. We're in the 11th. Ain't but 12 houses, folks. We're in the 11th now. The age of Aquarius. The age of the awakening. If you want to compare anything, when Jesus said, hey, look, I want, when you get to the city, what city? Jerusalem. You're going to meet a man. He's going to have a pitcher of water. He's going to be pouring it out. Everything hidden is going to be made manifested. You will know the truth. You will. Let me tell y'all something. The truth will get you killed physically. I know my life is at risk because I am not finna be out here plagiarizing and talking about a group of people, modern day y'all call Jews, and say that they are the children of God. Nah. Y'all can believe that shit. If they were the children of God, why would I want to be out here supporting a group of people, paying reverence and homage and honoring a group of people that they own God has rejected for killing his son? They don't even believe this shit. Muslims don't believe this shit. The Catholic Church don't teach this shit. The descendants of the sons of God of alien origin, you and me, are not to be fucked with. Somebody cares for you. If somebody's coming back to get you and take you to safety, it's going to be your terrestrial, celestial ancestors. That's facts. When we come back in this next video, don't forget, y'all. If you hold on, if you wanted a mini reading, I'll get you. Just hold on for a second. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a part of me that you may not know about, that you will eventually know about. I'm just being honest with you. That I'm putting my life on the line. Y'all know me as Ivory, flipping cars. If you follow me from Facebook, you know you didn't hear nobody in 2017 telling y'all about lockdown. For those of you who've been following me, you know in 2024, just last year, wasn't nobody on here giving you 3 world leaders and their fate and what's going to happen to them. This is just the universe. This is just my celestial, terrestrial parents giving me knowledge, sharing with me, showing me shit. I'm giving y'all some shit now. And say, look, we know this descendant of ours is not going to be afraid to die. My book, one of my booklets is entitled Life After the Cross. Do I look like I'm crazy? And I know y'all might think I'm crazy, but do I look like I'm out here now that I done left the cross and I done left from all these here fairy tales and these allegories and these folklores and these versions of stories of origins? Do I look like I'm out here messed up? No. I'm sitting here in this office because I was put here for a reason. If I was to go by money, I can't afford this area. I've already been looked upon, and why are you here? Who is he? You got all around me law firms, doctor offices, high-rise buildings, places that I can't physically go to unless I'm a member of the clique. Because all of this here last day shit, ain't no rapture gonna take place. Go and research again John Nelson Darby, and you will find out that's when you first heard about the rapture. 1830s. So for 1830 years, there was no such thing as no rapture. For the first 600 years, there's no mention of no man on the cross. Dying for nothing, nobody. In fact, he didn't even stay down there for 36 hours. How he gonna get victory over hell in the grave and he left early? He ain't snatched no keys from no devil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of good news, but I'm sorry. So in 26, I know my mission. I know my purpose. A lot of times, just like now, I stick to myself. I'm not a groupie. I have to protect my energy. I ain't worried about my life. I have to protect my energy. I scare myself sometimes. I used to. I'm not scared. When I see things now, I'm telling you. All right. Anyway, we're going to be out of here. I'm going to come back. It's 4:40. Give me about an hour to let this here device charge up. In the meantime, we are at $500.37. We're a little bit more than that because I see that some have given again. I'm a humanitarian, physically and spiritually. Some of y'all are humanitarians, physically and spiritually. Your whole purpose in this human experience, in this lifetime, of which you have many, is to serve mankind. That's it. To speak words that you're not going to get from books. People be asking me, how you know that? How you know this here? What book you get that from? None. The few books that I do have is based on me giving y'all original books, like the flood story, Noah's story. You got to get this book. If you want to know what's going to happen, quote unquote, as they call it, in the last days, it was written in stone, not paper, not scrolls, not tablets, right? And you got to go get this book. Why the Roman Catholic Church don't want the Book of Enoch in their books? You want to know more about all these other books that's left out of the Bible? You got to go get the Nag Hammadi scripture. Or go get the Ethiopian Bible. If you want to know about where Jesus went, shout out to Billy Carson, Miami, Florida. If you want to know where Jesus went, when he says, Mom, Dad, I got to go. I got to be about my Father's business. Who taught this little young boy from age 12 to 32? Where did he go for 20 years? Who taught him? Thought. Tehuti. I got another version of this book before Billy wrote this book. But it's a good read. Why did he go to Egypt? Why didn't he stay in Jerusalem and learn? Why did he go to India? Why they don't tell folks the 12 disciples, who was that? It wasn't Peter. It wasn't Paul sitting at the Last Supper table. Peter was, but it wasn't Paul. It was a woman. Her name is Mary Magdalene, according to their own book and story. But there's other names. These are just European character names. The complete 54 book, the Apocrypha. The books just keep getting more and more and more. It's more than 66 books to this story, folks. To this origin, to this story, there's more than 66 books. Muhammad didn't come on the scene. He wasn't even on the scene when this story was taking place. Islam is only 1100 and some years old. That's it. Muhammad, look at it. I can tell y'all what the 6-pointed star represent. It doesn't represent. It's way older than Israel. The crescent moon with the star is way older than Islam. Why they keep using these astrological symbols? Muhammad fled from Mecca, Medina. for his life, him and his comrades. Nobody want to talk about Belial. That's before teaching. This brother was teaching before Muhammad. Same thing. But why would Muhammad have a vision in a cave doing a eclipse, a partial eclipse? Why would he go to Egypt, fearing for his life, so that my people, if you will, take care of him, protect him? Ishmael never existed. Muhammad never existed. This coming from a former Muslim. You're not going to find it, folks. I understand what you believe. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find no grave sites, no burial sites, no physical birthplace. You're not going to find no descendants from nobody in these books. So are we saying, we know that Jesus had other brothers. They had families. They had wives. They had children. Where these folks at? Everything that you've been taught is made up. You want the origin? Go. So y'all keep, books is paper. You got to go find the origin in stone. Stone. If you're going to go and get these books and these stories, you got to start from here. This is why they tried to destroy the pyramids. This is why Napoleon shot off the nose of the ThAnkhs, the lion head, the woman. This is why they took, quote unquote, this is way before Egypt, way before Kemet, way before Nubia. There, you will find the image of the Ankh in South Africa before Egypt or Kemet. When you look at this feminine, energetic piece, it's almost like a djihad. It's electric, it's magnetic, it's feminine, ovaries, offspring, and penis. Feminine energy on top. They took that womb and closed it up symbolically, and closed it up, that Ankh, turned it upside down, and made the masculine, the man, I'm talking about religions now, at least the big three, and made the man over the woman. That's backwards. That's ass backwards. That's why it's so fucked up down here. This is why they took the story. Man, y'all don't even want me to leave, man. I'm trying to go. But when you're a teacher, you're just a teacher. Now the serpent, in Genesis, they call him the serpent. They said it's the devil. Listen. Now the serpent was more crafty, which means wise, not slick, not a liar, not deceptive, crafty. When you think about somebody with a craft or a skill, it's a good thing. Anyway. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast in the field that the Lord God made. Made is different than created now. I ain't gonna go there with you. He said to the woman, who is the woman he talking to? Eve. He said to the woman, did God actually say, ye shall not eat of any tree in the garden? He asked her a question, Eve. And the woman said to the serpent, y'all call him the devil, I don't. We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden. But God said, this is what Eve said, ye shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. God didn't tell Eve this. How I know? Because in the Bible it tells you. Her husband Adam told her that. Question. Where is Adam? Where you at, boy? So you got some beast, some serpent, crawling on his belly. At this point in time, he's standing up on two hind legs, talking to your woman in the garden. Where you at, boy? You got somebody laying game, spitting game to your woman now. Where you at? Blame it all on the woman, huh? Okay. But the serpent said to the woman, you are not surely going to die. Here we go. The only truth by any creature speaking in the garden was this serpent, talking to this woman. Listen. For God knows that when you eat of it, talking about this tree in the midst of the garden, your eye, third eye, will be open, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. There's nothing wrong. If I'm going to be judged by God based on what I do in this life, I at least need to know the difference between right and wrong, what I can and what I can't do. You just say no, you ain't going to die. She didn't die after she ate of the tree. Uh-oh. Her eye became open. You give me a little more coffee. Her eye became open. There it did. It said, now we refer, because this beast, this serpent, was crafty, wise. The wisest beast that God had created in this garden now. Right? So that wisdom that this serpent is sharing is actually, I believe, coming from who? Probably one of God's sons. If you believe that story, coming from one of God's sons. You got the most wisest beast in the field talking to the wisest being created by multiple beings in this woman. The Bible refers to wisdom, which is the craft of the serpent, refers to wisdom as she. Your justice system is based on Lady Justice with the scales. Your statue in New York City, Lady Liberty. So if the woman is not supposed to be teaching and doing all this here shit, so why is you referring to the woman as wise? Why is you referring to the woman as Lady Justice? Why is your God of the Bible laying down sleeping with the daughters of Eve? Go explain it. They don't like your boy teaching. Man, look, let me tell y'all something. I do this for free. Whether somebody put a penny in this bucket, I've been doing this here for free since the 90s. I didn't force my congregation all these damn offering places, so on and so forth. I didn't go out begging. Well, God told me to tell y'all this, saints. Y'all need to give more money so we can get more pews and more furniture and a bigger church. I ain't play that damn game. That's why I'm still here. I ask questions in the seminaries. I ask questions in the schools, in the Bible colleges that they couldn't answer. I asked bishops, prophets, all of them, rabbis, fathers. Y'all got to explain this. If you can't explain it, quit telling me as a young preacher, well, brother, let me get back with you on that, and God will open your eyes and give you. No, 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 damn it. You teaching this shit from your pulpit. If you can't tell me the truth, you got to get back with me, and you ain't never got back with me in 30-something years. You can't tell me shit now. I can tell you, I can help you. Quit belittling the woman. Quit blaming the woman from man's fall. Better yet, Adam, you should have had your ass there when this his serpent was talking to your woman. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Lilith, that's right. Most people don't even know that we all avatars. I want y'all to think about this shit in my closing now. It wasn't that the sons of God, now we know, were of alien origin and were giants compared to man. There's no way this giant, excuse my French, is gonna have sex and put that giant penis in the womb of a little small woman. No, it created. Y'all call them today's modern term, modern language. Y'all say test tube babies. Ain't no giants, folks. There wasn't no giant aliens laying down in bed. How? But we read it. We read, let us make man in our image and our likeness. Created him male and female. Created him, created them, created them. I just read it to you. Now I can come on back, start in January. I'll be tearing them up again. The worst thing that can happen is A, they can block and ban me again from all social media outlets. B, they come after me, talking about let's kill him. He telling shit that we don't need him to be talking about. He gonna mess around. He gonna have folk thinking, and they don't want you to use your sense of thought. They want you to believe and not think. Because the moment you start thinking, and the moment you begin to become inquisitive, the moment you begin to become asking questions, the moment you start researching, go with. Anytime people go to talking to me about this, I read this in a book. I read this in a book. I heard about this in the book. I read this in the book. I said, okay, go get me the original version in stone, where it all came from. If you can't come to me with stone, don't come to me with no paper. Don't come to me with King James. Don't come to me with man's version. Don't come to me with the Jewish version. Don't come to me with the Greek and the Roman and the European version. Don't come to me with that. They are not. They wasn't there. They're not old enough. When you got, they call her Lucy. When you got a woman, a young teenage woman, they finding remains. 70, I think they say 70 to 80% intact, mummified. A teenage girl, over 2 million years old, and then they call her Lucy. 2 million? A teenage girl. Who was her mom and dad? We're talking way before God, and we're talking way before sons of God, folks. 2 million years? Facts. You can't go to me with no book. Again, I don't know how many books I've read over the years. I know it's thousands of days spent in research centers, L-I-E, Brary, where they lying about hidden truth that is being stored away instead of a vault. That's where you get that word Brary or berry from. You can't. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Come bring me some receipts in stone. Bring me some receipts in tablet. Bring me some receipts from the cosmic. Don't bring me no receipts from versions. Especially version 500. This is the most fallible version of anything pertaining to historical data pertaining to origins. Most people don't even know who King James is. Most people don't even know he had parents killed. Most people don't know. It's so much that, listen, most people don't even know who the Duke of Somerset is. Most people don't even know Shakespeare is responsible for writing part of that book. King James, one of King James' lovers. I'm just being honest with you folks. I would not lie to you. I would not lie to you. Go and research and find out who the Duke of Somerset was. And you'll find out that the Duke of Somerset was one of King James' gay lovers who also sit in and wrote and translated what some call God's Word. Isaiah ain't never lived. I repeat, go find Isaiah in stone. If he was physically existed, he's somewhere in stone. If you talking about paper, you talking about scrolls, I'm talking about something older. Nobody in the Bible, character-wise, ever physically existed. None of them. Zero. Zip. Nada. You will find in I'm just giving you a fact from coming from Christianity. You will find homosexuality that was banned by their own God in this book, you will find homosexuality in Christianity more than any other religion on the planet. Period. You can go to any church today. I don't knock what nobody do. I'm just giving you facts. This spell, this book of spells, authorized, translated, reprinted over and over again by a homosexuality known. They used to call him Queen James. The Vatican didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Period. I use this book now to help liberate the minds of people. It's like a antibiotic, a spiritual antibiotic. It's like what else can I use to give y'all an example? Kryptonite, anti-venom. You know how you get bit by a poisonous snake and then you have to take this vaccine or whatever, this shot that comes from that same poisonous snake in order for you to not die of its bite or its poison. So I use that like religion, or especially Christianity. This book now I use to help people. Because if I read it and believe what I read, I can't prove it. That's why the key word in this book is faith. Faith. You got to believe something that you cannot see and you don't know nothing about it. That means that you believe in the dark. You believe in blind. Only thing you can do is hope and lie or believe. You can't prove none of it. If the only place you can prove that God exists, a creator exists, and he had a son, if this is the only book you can prove this here, then you don't have nothing. Because why? You should be able to take that book and set it aside and prove that your God that you believe in is real outside of the books. Any God. Simple. One thing they all have in common, that original cross, that symbol, it was without a man for 600 years. So in order them to win over the masses, they had to make it personal. So they took one vowel and changed it from a U, S-U-N, to a O, S-O-N, and deceived billions. I'm not believing nothing. Magical things don't happen when you believe. Magical things happen when you know. Because if you believe, that means you got to go and get a ritual from somebody else and then perform that ritual. When you go and drink the blood symbolically, when you go and eat the flesh symbolically, that's spell work. That's secret society. That's a cult. I ain't drinking no more blood. In real life or symbolically. I'm not symbolically. In order for me to have eternal life, I got to drink somebody's blood symbolically, eat their body symbolically. That's cannibalism. That's rituals. That's spells. And they conduct these rituals and spells once every month based on the flow of a woman's cycle. I bullshit you not. I don't believe in F-A-I-T-H. Faith. I know, FATE, faith. You're destined, your purpose, you agreed to come here, you chose your parents, and your soul has a purpose for being here. And it is not to talk about Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, Paul. You did not come here to tell a story. You did not choose to come here because your soul is older than any religion you ever believe in. And as I spelled out, most of us have a terrestrial, celestial, alien origin. We'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to support the channel. Peace.